it's not really difficult in regards to the law. The farmers can buy seeds which are on EU registered. Not permit, there is a requirement for announcement. So you have to announce 1 month from sowing. How much did you sow? Where did you sow? Which variety did you sow?
That's Hana Gabrielová from Hempoint in the Czech Republic. This is the Lancaster Farming Industrial Hemp Podcast. My name is Eric Herlock. Today I will be talking to Hana about hemp in the Czech Republic and in Europe in general. Hana has been in the hemp space in Europe for a very long time. We'll talk about her work with Hempoint and KonopiUS, as well as her work with the European Industrial Hemp Association and the Czech Hemp Cluster. We'll also talk about the European Industrial Hemp Association Conference. It's coming up in Prague in just a couple of weeks. Also on this show, we're going to check in with Patrick Atagi from the National Industrial Hemp Council about the American delegation going to Prague. So all that and more. We'll take a quick sponsor break, and then we'll get right into it. This episode is brought to you in part by I&D Hemp in Fort Benton, Montana, where they believe in the goodness of hemp. I&D Hemp is a family-owned, mission-driven, and environmentally focused industrial hemp food, feed, and fiber company, providing new opportunities for farmers and rural communities. Their mission is to provide innovative agricultural products and services to connect American farmers with the pioneers and businesses that see hemp as a way to bring real and lasting change to our communities and planet. Learn more at indhemp.com.
The KP4 Hemp Cutter, introducing a revolution in hemp harvesting, setting a new standard for harvesting quality, speed, and efficiency. The KP4 prepares hemp for ideal retting and easy on-field tedding, raking, and baling. Easy to maintain and designed to withstand the punishments of hemp harvesting. The KP4 Hemp Cutter. Available only at hempcutter.com.
This episode is brought to you in part by the National Hemp Association. The NHA is a nonprofit based in Washington, D.C. that advocates for sensible public policy and regulation. The NHA is dedicated to building a sustainable future and promoting economic development in rural communities. Become a member today and join a thriving community of people with a passion for all things hemp. Learn more at nationalhempassociation.org. All right, welcome back. So I've got a couple of news nuggets here for you this week. Let's see, what week is this? So here we are. It's almost the end of May. Today is Wednesday, May 22nd. So yeah, a couple of news nuggets. This first one was actually sent to me in a press release Friday afternoon from Jeff Whaling at the National Hemp Association. He was very excited to share with me the news that all of the key components of the Industrial Hemp Act of 2023 that we've been talking about on this show for a while, they have been successfully included in the discussion draft of the House version of the Farm Bill. So that's good because those components are in the Senate version, so that's going to make reconciling those documents a little easier. So some of the key highlights from the House working draft, there's new definitions for hemp. The bill bifurcates the different types of hemp. So there's industrial hemp. This encompasses hemp grown for stalks and fibers, seeds, derivatives, immature plants for consumption, research purposes, and viable seeds for further production. Notably, it also includes microgreens within the definition of industrial hemp. And then there's the hemp grown for cannabinoid extraction. This refers to hemp grown specifically for extracting cannabinoids for human or animal consumption, inhalation, or topical use. So that's what we've been looking for, is that split between the two sides of the industry. This is going to make it a whole lot easier for farmers to grow industrial hemp for industrial purposes. So it's not a done deal yet. The Farm Bill still needs to be, signed into law. So don't celebrate yet. Keep at it. Keep pushing this. Hats off to the people who are working very hard to get this across the finish line. You know who you are. So thank you for the work that you're doing. Very important. The USDA just published their list of RAP funding allocations. RAP stands for Regional Agricultural Promotion Program, and RAP funds are available to U.S. agricultural trade organizations, state regional trade groups, agriculture cooperatives, and state agencies that conduct approved market development activities to expand exports, address trade barriers, and showcase American agricultural products in new and diverse markets. And on the list of RAP funding allocations for 2024 is the National Industrial Hemp Council. And it's listed here that they are receiving $275,000. So that's a big deal because, look, the USDA is treating industrial hemp as any other crop, and that's what we want, right? Big, boring, and ubiquitous. Okay, so you remember a few months ago, Patrick Atagi was on the show and he invited me to be part of this USDA delegation to Prague for the European Industrial Hemp Association's conference. Well, guess what? That's happening in a couple of weeks. I'm super excited about it. But I wanted to talk to Patrick and just get a sense of what we can expect, you know? So before we get into my call with Hana, we're going to have a very brief call with Patrick. Patrick Atagi from the National Industrial Hemp Council. Welcome back to the podcast. How are you doing?
Doing great. Thank you for having me back.
Yeah, absolutely. So a few months ago, you invited me to be part of a delegation from the USDA to the European Industrial Hemp Association's conference in Prague. This is happening in just a couple of weeks. So first, thank you for inviting me to be part of that. This is super exciting. But I would like to learn from you today, like, what is the mission of the delegation?
Yeah, the mission of the delegation and from USDA standpoint is one, increasing production and helping U.S. farmers. So that feeds into some of the companies that are going, for example, Hempoint, Greg Wilson's group will be there. I&D Hemp will be there. Tuscarora Mills locally from Pennsylvania will be there.
Yeah, David.
And that's to push product, globally. Where's the market, for these products and to establish, a foothold in Europe and beyond.
Okay. And this is through the market access program through the USDA?
That's correct. So it's a $200 million program. The NIHC, the National Industrial Hemp Council, receives a little over $200,000, and it's to promote, hemp products, hemp trade, anything that can help hemp, internationally.
Cool. Okay. And so what are your expectations of the conference? Like, is there like certain concrete goals that you hope to get out of it?
Yeah, absolutely. Some of these companies do have relationships already, so this will help solidify those or grow them. Some will be, reaching out to new time customers or potential new time customers, but it's also just, a networking, opportunity. Some of these folks know each other, some don't, but what that came out of the NOCO event, Morris Beagle's WAFA event, was that we need to work together. We'll probably have another conversation about China and what I learned this past week while I was overseas, but really it's just building those relationships, both domestically and internationally, and creating, new markets and, new sales.
Awesome. What do you see my role in this delegation as? Like, what are your expectations for me?
Yeah, my expectations is, this is what we're doing right now, to let people know about the MAP program and that it's a trustworthy, program, your government dollars at work, helping you. When I say you, I mean, not just Lancaster, but, farmers, let them know that this program is out there. We just talked about a grant that NIC just received, how to apply that to, the hemp farmers, hemp processors, producers, manufacturers, and, to help folks because money is tight.
Yeah.
And the USDA has stepped up and stepped in, to help hemp. It's official.
That's awesome. Yeah. Before we started recording, you told me about some breaking news, right? Can we share that here?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sharing you the link. The USDA announced under the Regional Agricultural Promotion Program RAP that what are called cooperators, which NIC is a cooperator. We're the only hemp cooperator in the USDA program. We received $745,000 to promote hemp globally. So the 200,000 from MAP goes to Europe. Well, we have it going to Europe and Asia.
Hmm.
The RAP money is targeted at Southeast Asia, so India, Asia overall, Africa. We received 140,000 within that money for Africa for outreach there, and we can talk about that as people wonder about why Africa. But it's establishing, the market there, what's available. Also the Caribbean, Latin America, South America. So, NIC will be creating a committee, to talk about what to do with those funds and, how to market and enter markets globally. So we're super excited.
Yeah, that's exciting. It's a great big world out there, right? A lot to
It
see.
is, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Have you been to Prague before?
Yeah, I have. It's a great city. It's very walkable. Great food if you're a meat and potato guy, in which, I grew up on a farm in Eastern Oregon raising, potatoes and onions, especially crop. It's a great venue, with the European Industrial Hemp Association. Great place for you, Lancaster to learn. I know, you're regional, but, it's a global economy.
Yeah.
It's a global place for you to make those contacts and meet people. Daniel Cruz with the European Industrial Hemp Association, Charles, the Australian Canadian Hemp Trade Association, Ted Haney, and others. It's just a fantastic opportunity to, go beyond just domestic, which is important. But it's really important for you to meet these other people and kind of have that global perspective of what we're dealing with.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I look forward to telling the story and meeting more people whose stories I can tell here on the podcast. So very exciting, and I am very grateful to you for offering this to me. So
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
looking forward to it, and I guess I'll see you in Prague.
Great.
Okay, moving on to the meat and potatoes of this episode. This is my conversation with Hana Gabrielová. She lives in Prague in the Czech Republic. She has been involved in the hemp industry for many years. She founded Hempoint in 2010. She's been involved in policy making in the Czech Republic with the Czech Hemp Cluster. She'll talk about that. And she's a board member of the European Industrial Hemp Association. I learned a lot about hemp in Europe and the Czech Republic from Hana in this conversation, and I hope you will too. Here we go. Hana Gabrielová, welcome to the Lancaster Farming Industrial Hemp Podcast. How are you doing?
I'm very well today. I just shipped some bunch of seeds at my office to the farmers. Still farming season on, so good.
And you are in the Czech Republic?
Yeah, this is where I'm based and born and living.
Okay, well, welcome to the show. You are the founder and CEO of a business called Hempoint, and you're involved with KonopiUS, one of the founding partners there. And I think you're involved with the European Industrial Hemp Association. So we've got a lot to talk about today. So thank you for joining me. I wonder if you could give us a brief introduction.
Okay. I studied the agriculture university where I focused on organic farming and protection of the landscape. And I chose the topic of industrial hemp. So this is how I kind of came to know hemp and learn about that. And then I started to work for some different NGO on the environmental topics, but it was very hard to explain people like nuclear waste topic or running main topic. So I decided to go back to my lovely hemp topic and founded Hempoint in 2010. Started to do some line of hemp food products and also produce hemp by my own, supply hemp to the other companies who wasn't able to grow, but they wanted to find some local organic hemp-grown hemp. And then I also distribute the hemp seeds for the farmers, because I was like buying hemp seeds and I learned how to import them, and how to distribute them was not really too far difficult. So today I'm distributing like 6 different breeders from Europe, all of them from Europe, and around like 26 different varieties. And I also founded a hemp company in US called KonopiUS. Konopi means hemp in Czech. and
that's with Robin.
With Robin Destich and Corbett McTiff and Bert James. So because I wanted to do it for like US farmers long time, because I started to go there like since 2016, and I didn't really like see much like stable varieties, and I saw the big potential of hemp farming in US. I was like, yeah, these people really need like our stable varieties.
Yeah.
As we do like big farming, they will do soon as well.
It's coming.
So yeah, so this is why we founded the company, because it's difficult to distribute from Europe, since all the shipments need a lot of like paperwork. So it's better to do one shipment with one paperwork and then distribute from the ground in US. And we also provide the consulting for the farmers.
Can you talk about sort of like the hemp landscape in the Czech Republic? Like what sort of give us like a high level view of the cannabis laws?
Hemp farming, it's not really like difficult in regards to the law. The farmers can buy seeds which are on EU registered pan variety database.
Do you need a permit to grow hemp in the Czech Republic?
No permit. There is a requirement for announcement. So you have to announce 1 month from sowing. How much did you sow? Where did you sow? Which variety did you sow? You should show the label of the variety, that it's kind of registered variety, and announce it to the custom office, which kind of like managing like these kind of stuff.
So is that as simple as sending a letter in to the office, or how do you?
It's like, yeah, A4 page, very simple.
Okay, wow, that's great.
Where, who, which variety, how big is the plant, everything.
Are there a lot of farmers growing hemp in Czech?
Not really. There is actually like 300 farmers to growing hemp, but most of them are small, and there is like maybe like 15, 20 big ones. We don't have the certification facilities, so we have to import all the hemp fibers, which is a lot, because we have a big paper mill here, and we have 2 companies which produce the hemp insulations. So we have to import around like 10,000 tons annually.
Oh, wow.
A lot.
No kidding.
And then we have also like 3 companies which do like hempcrete and hemp bricks. They also like consume some, and like hemp construction is also happening in Czech Republic, but again from imported stuff.
Yeah.
And also hemp seeds we have to import as well. Also like for the feed, not only for food, because hemp for feed, it's very popular in Czech Republic and basically all Europe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Always was. It's like traditional, like part of the feed menu, I would say.
Right. It's so crazy to me that that's not the case here in the US. It's like, I mean, birds have been eating hemp seed forever. What's the holdup? Yeah.
Yeah. So, this is what we do. And also, like, I'm also, since 2018, I am president of the Czech Hemp, which is cluster kind of association, but we call it cluster because cluster has a special EU politics, and there is like cluster associations, and they getting like better subsidies than associations. So
what word are you using? Cluster?
Cluster.
Can you spell that for me?
CLU.
Okay, cluster. I got it. All right, it's my ears. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Cluster. So,
all right,
so we decided to fund the cluster, and we became like the member of the National Cluster Association. So now we're working with the furniture cluster, automotive cluster about like plastics, all different cluster. We're working together on some like project funded from EU. So it's a good opportunity to do
Okay.
projects
Yeah.
and get funding for some like development of the new topic like hemp is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Is there a stigma around hemp in the Czech Republic? Like a marijuana stigma? Is that even a factor, or is it just farming?
no, always factor. Well, like 60 years of prohibition.
Okay.
Even more, 80 years of prohibition. Yeah, so it's really, no, actually, it's a 60 years of prohibition. It really paid the tax.
Yeah.
So we really have to explain a lot, and we have all the problems with even like low THC limits in the food and like CBD topic. It's still very unregulated and crazy because of that. Because we still have like big discussion if like the flowering, fruiting top of hemp plant it's narcotic or not, believe it or not, yeah. So it's still not easy. I'm still spending a lot of my time uh, on regulation topic, even though I would really like to work on something more creative than regulation. Yeah.
Are there certain things that you admire about the way the European hemp industry operates that the US might learn from? Are there certain policies or procedures that we could learn from?
Yeah, well, like definitely stuff to learn because the company I'm distributing seeds from, like this French hemp company, but also like KonopiUS distributing, it was established like 60 years ago. They have just in June celebrating their 60 years anniversary. So since like hemp industry is pretty new in US, yeah, of course there is stuff to learn. Yeah, because like these people have experience of 60 years. Yeah, that like nobody can say in US. So I think the experience it's tough to always learn if there is a will, and if there is a kind of like some bridge or some call for that, But what I'm seeing more, it's like that US really trying to bring a lot of money in the hemp industry and learn from its own mistakes. It's probably also okay. I just like see it a little bit like longer way. What it's also costly way, and the US exports a lot of stuff to US, so it makes sense to kind of like do some joint venture project with like European companies and start to establish there and do some like tours in Europe to go visit these companies, how they work, how they operate. I don't see much happening this year. We organized this AI event. There will be a conference, but also the expo. I motivate Maurice Beagle after 6 years coming to Colorado NOCO Expo to, do something similar in Europe because we have a lot of expo, but it's mostly cannabis expo. So they sell there like papers, vape pens, marijuana seeds. It's a different kind of like auditorium. Yeah, like different kind of people who are like coming to these shows, So I wanted some similar one what NOCO is, like where people presenting stuff from industrial hemp and talking industrial hemp and and working together on some projects.
And
So
that's
so
coming
kind.
soon. That's next
Yeah,
month,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So Morris was so kind that he last year actually
Morris
agreed
Beagle.
to Morris Beagle.
Yeah.
Uh, I really love his shows and how he has it like really professionally together. So I was like, Morris, please come to Czech Republic. Let's do the expo there. And then because Lorenza Romanes from EA, she's a director of European Industrial Hemp Association. She was there, and I was like so excited. And I was like, oh, next year, NOCO in Prague, Lori. look at that. And she was like, really? That's a cool idea. Maybe like we should ask Maurice if he may want to do also like help organize the conference. So so it ends up that Maurice also organizing the EA conference, and we kind of like put it together to be at Prague because why not? And Prague it's nice time. People like beers, and it's like not really. It's like Central Europe, so everybody can fly there easily. So yeah, so I'm very happy that we can like do it together, and yeah.
Yeah, I was invited to attend the conference in Prague, and I will be part of the delegation from the U.S. So I'll be there
Oh,
with
that's
Morris and
wonderful.
Patrick Atagi and a bunch of great people. So I'm excited for this. I've never been to Prague before. I've been to Western Europe, but never Central Europe. So I'm very excited. I know just a little bit about Prague, and I can't wait to learn more. Well, tell me what, I'm going to be in Prague for 5 days. Like what should I experience? What like to understand the country a little bit, or the city or the people, what sort of things should I do? What sort of food should I eat? Where should I go? Can you tell me these things?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like everybody have to go to the like see the Charles Bridge and like the old town square, and like Prague is very small, so you can walk everywhere. It's no big deal. It's like one day you can like walk it around, kind of really
Uh,
small.
yeah.
And yeah, I think like we have a lot of like nice classic music, so there's always some like cool classic and some like beautiful like historical places. uh we have a we have also nice like kind of like hill next to the Prague castle. There's a little lift, and it's like also like beautiful view. There are like um area like Žižkov, where it's like really kind of like alternative place of Prague, where like a lot of like music and bars happening. Yeah, there is a Letná Park where it's also a lot of like theaters during the or like outdoor shows happening. I have to check like what's exact program at this particular
Okay.
day. It's what
Yeah.
I didn't see yet, but yeah. And you will be also like with the hemp people, so you will be like going to some bars around the Prague center, and we will walk a lot through the through the
Is
through
there
the
a certain kind of food that I should have?
well, like everybody have to like try the Budweiser beer, the original one.
Okay. Original
Yes,
Budweiser. Okay.
original Budweiser, because the Americans stole the license, yeah, from Czech people before the Second War, and then we was like East and there was West, so they didn't care, yeah. But they had the license just for the U.S. But after Second War, they started expand without asking Czech.
Still a point of
Because like
contention,
we
I
was
see.
kind of like East, they cannot do much about that. No, just but it's true, yeah. And it's a national Czech brewery, so Czech government fighting with the American giant like company for that license since 89. A funny story. And then yeah, the food. Like Czechs eat a lot of like dumplings, cabbage, and meat. We are like meat lovers.
Yeah.
I'm not vegetarian personally, so I don't eat much meat.
Fermented foods, a lot of good fermented foods there.
Oh, fermented food, yeah, like the
Yeah. Yeah.
fermented cabbage. This is like what we do well.
All right. Sauerkraut.
The sauerkraut. Then we do svíčková, which is kind of dumplings with the beef meat and some root vegetable sauce, cranberries and cream. Yeah, so I think these, or we have also a lot of like sweet dishes, like sweet dumplings with the strawberry inside and some cream. Yeah, you'll see. There is a lot of street food like langosh or bramboraki.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
sounds good.
We will be close, so I will take you
Okay.
everywhere.
All right. Is there anything that I should, mentally prepare myself for, or something I need to bring, or just go and just
Mentally prepared that there is food center of this kind of cannabis store, but they don't really like sell cannabis. They just like look like sell cannabis, but they sell mostly like crappy touristic stuff, like the sprayed CBD flower with the
oh,
HCP and stuff like that. Yeah, so
huh.
you just go around them.
Okay.
Or you just go. They are like regular groceries, which like had expansion. It's like Vietnamese people like selling that. I don't recommend anybody to buy stuff there. Uh, and then yeah, there is like no really like problem drinking on the street like in US. Yeah, so you can go with beer outdoor or what it tells you other things. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh, so 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 yeah, people smoking a lot in Czech Republic. So maybe some Americans will be embarrassed because
Oh,
people in Czech Republic smoke
yeah,
definitely more
cigarettes,
than
tobacco
people
smoke.
in
Yeah.
US cigarettes.
Okay. Yeah. So tell me about your involvement with the EHA.
I am I'm member of the European Industrial Hemp Association since last year, but I've been always working very close together. And uh, I am yeah, one of the 9 board members, which kind of like helping AI to create some kind of goals or like exec like executive work for the director. Yeah,
Okay.
because like the director just like the team of AI, they just do what they are taught to do
Okay.
because they are not really experts on hemp. They are experts on the EU lobby. Like
Okay.
after 3 years or 4 years, like they working for us, like they becoming experts in 5 years, Lorenzo. But it's still like the board member group. It's more like giving inputs, like what AI have to work on or deciding about the AI
Okay.
direct.
And the EHA is like the single voice of hemp in Europe, right? There aren't many different organizations. There's just sort of that one central voice.
There is some European organization which more focus on CBD stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There are some cannabis association, but the hemp one, European one, is this only one.
Okay. Because that's different from the U.S., where there are many different organizations, and it seems like there's some politics between it. But I'm hoping that sometime in the near future, there we will have a sort of a more unified industry. But we're getting there. Um, what are you working on now? Do you have any other projects that you're that are taking up your time?
Yeah, I sold piece of my company last year to the German company, which called European Material Bank, which owns the Ukrainian hemp company and Pepec company. And they started to produce industrial hemp products like fiber and chives in Ukraine, and they also built their own decortication line. So now we are working on the project for Czech Republic to establish the decortication line in Czech Republic to be
Great.
able to supply these big demanders.
Yeah, yeah, that's great.
and uh, yeah, and we are like close to have the investment pitch done, and we will look for investment
Okay.
for big projects for
Yeah.
many years, but also making me very occupied because we want to sell more of those machines and we want to supply more hemp from the east. But it will be better if one of those machines operate in Europe
Hmm.
so the people can come to see and check the quality and be more kind of you say yeah, like understand better, that the people can understand better and be more convinced to work with us, that the quality is okay and
Yeah.
we can really
Okay.
like supply what we're promising.
Before we started recording, you mentioned the Cannabis Embassy. Can you talk a little bit about that project?
Cannabis Embassy also. Cannabis Embassy is a project what we established this year in March before Commission of Narcotic. This is the project we started this year in March before the meeting of Commission of Narcotics in the Vienna. There is a United Nations meeting twice a year. People from around the world who working on the narcotic drugs coming to join this Commission of Narcotic Drugs meeting, and they're discussing different topics. And we always go there with a bunch of people from around the world working on the side events to providing some insights from some different topic about cannabis. And this year we really have like strong topic to work on cannabis as a traditional plant. And we want to win this fight to let the people who always been using cannabis traditionally to be able to use it again, and then that we can learn from them, and we can help the local communities in the rural areas of development countries to really, be
right.
sustainable. Like on the West, we using like hemp for like sustainability, but we took it from the people in the areas of the development countries where they cannot really fight with these people for anything. They are happy if they can survive. So we feel like we have to give back, and we want to fight for the like recognition cannabis as a traditional plant, and being available for these
Okay, that's great.
traditional uses.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a group called Cannabis Embassy. We have a webpage, everybody can go there, and we will put it in the
we'll put that link on the show
the
page
link,
for this episode.
Yeah. And we wanna and we are trying to get funding because these people, they are really motivated to work for it, but also like going to Nairobi to attend the United Nations meeting about sustainability. It's really cost money just to fly there and get accommodated. So and we also published a book called Cannabis and Sustainable Development that everybody can download. We will also
okay.
Download link.
We'll put a link to that too. It's a free download to a book?
Free download.
Okay, excellent.
We also have like a bunch of copies printed. If somebody wants some copies, like, and willing to pay at least for shipment, like, will be great. But like this is really important work because this is the highest level. Mostly people focusing on their national level and struggling to get it like on the ground with all the requirements in the back, but all these struggles on the national high level is happening because of like problematic international level. So we are really small group of not many people coming to these United Nations meetings fighting for this plant and explaining how important it's like cannabis access for the patients, traditional uses, cannabis for sustainable development. This year we also opened the topic of the biopiracy. So it's a lot of important topics, and
right. A lot going on.
See more people helping us to achieve such a important goal.
Yeah. Okay.
And at least financially, if they cannot do like physically, but even like if somebody feel like called for like being part of this group, they are more than welcome.
Great. We'll put links to everything that we talked about here today on the show page so people can learn more there. Hana Gabrielová, thank you so much for your time today. It's been great talking to you and meeting you, and I look forward to meeting you in person in Prague in just a few weeks.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to see everybody in Prague.
And just like that, the show comes to an end. Thank you so much for listening to today's show. My name is Eric Herlock. I am the senior digital editor at Lancaster Farming newspaper, the greatest agricultural newspaper in the world. Check us out online at lancasterfarming.com. If you have any questions or comments or concerns about things you heard on today's show, please feel free to drop me a line. You can send an email to podcast@lancasterfarming.com. You can also reach out to me on LinkedIn and to a lesser degree, some of the other socials. So, all right, thanks again for listening. Until next time, I'll see you in the newspaper. Ciao. Hemp Industrial.
Tato epizoda podcastu o pěstování konopí v Lancasteru je chráněna autorským právem z roku 2024 od novin Lancaster Farming. Dnešní show byla napsána, nahraná, upravena a produkována Ericem Hurlockem s produkční pomocí Matalí. Hudba, kterou během show slyšíte, je s laskavým svolením Tin Bird z Hadov.
Industrial hemp.